Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya. Good morning and welcome to Luxor again here in Egypt. This is a beautiful setting. Behind me here there is the Valley of the Queens, the Valley of the Kings, a few beautiful temples, and the message for today is Amun Ra. You know, Amun Ra is the sun god over here, and it is probably one of the core ideas, concepts, energies, or feelings that I'm connected to since I arrived here. The idea is very simple. It is that thousands of years ago you had pharaohs identifying themselves with the solar deity or the sun god. So what does that mean? It means that they were an incarnation of the solar energy. And life goes on, thousands of years pass by, and we end up in society, most of the times identifying ourselves with our personality. So you know that I call myself Shiva Rajaya. Shiva is the name of God as well in Hinduism, uh, and everything that I do in life is to do with bringing in divine energies and manifesting them in life. So the idea of identifying yourself with the solar deity is a very powerful one, because it's like the sun is a powerful being out there in the sky, and rather than looking at the sun like a distant figure or a distant energy or intelligence or God that is out there separated from you, you can really bring it back into your being and realize that you are it. You are that solar energy. And so the idea or the concept of Amun Ra as a personified deity that reflects the solar energy is a very interesting and powerful one. So while I'm here in Luxor, by the way, Luxor is really a town, a city that was dedicated to Amun Ra. So the whole vibration here is anciently in devotion or in identification with that solar energy. So while I'm here, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm focusing on. That's the main core vibration that I'm connecting with. It is Amun Ra. And I'm using that mantra as an invocation of my own being, identifying itself with the solar energy. So I am Amun Ra. I am Amun Ra. And I'm using Amun Ra in its Sanskrit form. It means that I use the mantra, I repeat it, write it in calligraphic form, meditate on it, and then I start, training that specific muscle or set of energies in inside of me. And this is not, you know, a quest for, some maniac dream. It's not like what the pharaohs were seeing and creating. It's not a quest for grandeur and incredible power. It is really simply, the solar is out there, the solar energy is out there, and you bring it into your being. And by using that word Amun Ra, it's like you are identifying yourself with that specific energy. So it's a little bit like a muscle that you can train, right? If you uh, bring it into your life and have that experience one time and then go back into the world, forget about it, that's one thing. But imagine that it's like a practice, something that you can bring into your life, and then step by step you start, or actions start radiating that identification, and it gives you a position in life that empowers you. That is really, really powerful. So I am doing it. I don't know about you, and I don't know if it's a practice that you would like to engage into, but if you do, simply start using that word, Amun Ra. And you don't have to be in Egypt. You don't even need to come over here, because we're talking about something which is part of our universal consciousness. It is embedded in our collective unconscious. all the traces of the Egyptian civilization are still somewhere in the back of our minds, and we can access those energies through these simple practices. Imagine that you take some pictures of hieroglyphs and put that into your room, and you are creating an Egyptian temple just by doing that. So, writing the word Amun Ra and invoking it into your life is a way of bringing in this energy into your existence. So what does it do? Um, it's just fun, you know. It's just something that is interesting and empowering. And I do believe that by doing that, you establish a cosmic connection with an aspect of your universal identity. Very often in life, you might feel like you're trapped in the limits of your personality, right? It's the job, the money, the thoughts, the emotions, everything that is going on within the cycle of your personality. But imagine that there is something out there deeper inside of you, which is like an eternal presence or an eternal aspect of your being, which is really your spirit, and something that takes you way, way further than your personality does. Then that's what you are identifying yourself with. It's universal identity. That's what I would call it. So Amun Ra, the sun is the center of our solar system. It's the most powerful force we can access right here on this planet, I believe. And by accessing it, it's like can give you all sorts of things. But I will tell you more about what I feel, once I practice that for a while. And what's the difference between, using, for instance, Amun Ra and the word Surya, which is the solar logo in Sanskrit and in Hindu, Indian mysticism, or in the Vedas. The word Surya expresses also the sun as a solar deity. I would say that the difference is that Amun Ra has really been personified and integrated by pharaohs in the past. It means that you have human beings on this planet who have been opening this specific channel of expression, of identifying themselves with solar, a solar deity or solar energy. So it is personified, whereas Surya tends to be a little bit abstract, a little bit more of an abstract form. We call them Vedic deities. It means that they are not represented usually as beings in the physical form, but more like abstract energy realities. So you probably have the same, an equivalent set deity, solar deity, I think, in for the Incas or the Mayas, um, the in Polynesian culture, it is present there as well. Um, I don't remember in the Maori tradition the name, but I think it's Ra as well. Is it? Um, but anyway, it's a concept or an idea that has been emerging uh, many times in our cultures and civilizations. And so what we are doing right now, what I'm doing right now, right here, is tapping back into this idea. I am the Sun God. I am the Sun God. And the good news is that you don't need to have to be. It doesn't need to be unique. It's not just one person. You can be the Sun God too, or the Sun Goddess if you prefer. Um, but that's the idea. It is the incarnation of that experience that some pharaohs had in the past, thousands of years ago. Because I do believe that they opened uh, gateways, cosmic gateways. We are talking about um, energetic or stargates with energies which go way beyond the planet Earth. And some of it is symbolical, but I think that some of it has, a real connotation to actually energetic channels that you can create with um, radiating your energy beyond this planet. So we are entering into something which is, of course, very deep and very complex. And um, I'm not here to convince you of, of anything, simply give you some hints if it's directions that you want to explore. Amun Ra. So if you like these ideas, it's very simple. You can just start using that word. The way I use it, again, calligraphies, I will meditate on it internally. I will also use it in combination with my name, my spiritual name, Rajaya. So it's going to be Amun Ra Rajaya or Amun Rajaya, which is the Ra is already present in my name, Rajaya. So if you are, whatever your name is, you can go Amun Ra and then add your name to crystallize or polarize it on your own identity. Or just use the word Amun Ra. The spirits out there who are sponsoring this manifestation understand your message. The moment you start focusing on it, it becomes more and more part of your reality. And in my experience, to bring the full potential of that specific identity, it's probably like, a couple of weeks to 3 months of practice. It means that you condition yourself, you activate certain neural pathways, certain mindsets, and for these mindsets to be embodied, it takes a bit of time and repetition, because your mind is already conditioned, to identify yourself with the traditional personal aspects of your life. So when you start training a new, very specific mindset, it can take a little bit of time for your brain and your body and all the energetic aspects of your being to get used to that specific energy without obstruction. And again, what it brings into your life, most of all, it's really a very specific type of relationship with the invisible, and yeah, also a relationship with the afterlife, and with the cosmos or the universe beyond that. So it's powerful. Are we talking about superpowers? Well, so far I'm not levitating yet, but who knows? No, just kidding. This is real stuff. It's real spiritual practice that you can engage into, and it's something that I feel extremely strongly pulled here. I think actually this is the reason why I'm here. It's really to connect with that specific experience. A lot of the other things, understanding the hieroglyphs and the details of what Pharaoh lived when, the stories and the history and the conflicts and all that, and the wars, and all that is more like a background information that I'm not necessarily diving into. Of course, it's there, so I'm looking at it a little bit, but the core practice or the core connection that I'm establishing here this time in Egypt, it's that. It is Amun Ra, and from the position of the sun, from the position of the sun, once you are in that position, it's like, imagine the sun is being seen thousands, millions of light years from here. It means that there is a radiance, or there is a connection, or energetic pathways that reach across the universe. So it's like a cosmic vehicle that eventually establishes traveling pathways with the cosmos and the universe. See where we are going there. So it's all an exploration of consciousness. I'm having tons of fun and pleasure and meeting fantastic people, and another normal day in Egypt. Luxor, on the shores of the Nile. Bliss to you.